Alright guys, I was in those crazy long sale barn lines where my local sale barns were receiving 2 and 3 times the number of cattle due to drought conditions here in Upper East Texas. And as promised, I'm going to tell you what I sold those cows for today. Now these cows were cull cows from my operation. They were on the older end, being 7 and 8 years old, with the cow seeing its most productive years up to the age of 10. What's more is they bred late or they bred out of season, which is why they were the first to go in my destocking maneuver last weekend. Throwing up some pictures for reference of these cows, and these cows brought $720.38 at market, or 69 cents per pound, which if you are following cattle prices and have been, you will know that's actually not bad. And if you would, just leave in the comments section your local cattle prices this week. But to go even further, I paralleled prices from this exact weekend in this exact sale barn in July 2020, 2021, and 2022, and I actually found that some categories of livestock were selling higher, dollar for dollar, pound for pound, than in 2020 or 2021. For an example, steers at 500 pounds brought an average of $638 per head in 2020, $625 per head in 2021, and $700 per head in 2022. However, the unfortunate thing is that these price increases are not truly price increases, and here's why. We've seen a whopping 14.5% cumulative inflation rate since 2020. If you adjust the price of that steer in 2020 to match the price of that steer in 2022, you will actually find that unfortunately, the 2022 steer is selling for roughly $30 per head less. To be honest, the cattle market should be doing what the sheep market is doing, what the grain markets are doing, what a majority of the other commodities are doing as the dollar loses its value. And that is a steep incline. It's a commodity, but unfortunately, there are several manipulating factors in the beef cattle market. If you guys want some more information on those, click on this video up here, which explains the entire beef system. But to transition to my operation personally, I'm actually fighting to keep a small amount of beef cattle in my operation overall. And that is for 2 reasons. And number 1 is that the sheep market has been absolutely explosive over the past 5 years. If you want a video outlining that, I've got it right here. However, in this book, Quality Pasture by Alan Nation, he outlines the principle and the benefits of a multi-species operation on page 247. He brings to light the reality of market cycles, sheep having a 5 to 7 year market cycle and cattle having a 10-year market cycle. And a market cycle refers to the time it takes for the price on the conventional market for that particular species or animal to go from its low to its high and vice versa. According to Alan Nation, those 2 species rarely hit that dip at the same time. So if you have 2 species with alternating peaks and valleys, you have a more consistent and steady stream of income on your ranch. So if, say, in 2022, sheep are hitting a 5-year peak and their prices begin to soften, and cattle have hit their 10-year valley and are about to strengthen, running both species together will make me less vulnerable to those peaks and valleys. And number 2, I want to bring it back to the reality that despite using my local sale barn, I want to reinstate that I believe the primary means of profit on a small beef herd is direct-to-consumer marketing of beef straight off the farm. And that is a model that I want to continue to build out here on my farm. It's slower going to develop a customer base for that beef than it is to haul a truckload of live animals straight to the local sale. But as a small-scale rancher, I have the opportunity to start small and invest more time in my marketing at the onset and build that customer base for the higher revenue. I can do things like building my website, building out my newsletter, building out my social media channels, and finding customers that have an understanding of the value of what I'm producing. If you guys are intimidated by marketing, I have a free video for you down below, 6 steps to creating an online marketing strategy for your farm. I will send that to you absolutely free. So as long as I have the resources, and by the grace of God, I was connected with those resources by a local rancher just this week. I was able to access hay bales at an extremely reasonable price, and I believe those hay bales will allow me to carry this beef herd through the winter. Now granted, it's a much smaller herd than it was at the beginning of the summer, but it's still something, and I believe it is important to hang on, and that is what I'm gonna do so long as I can. And if you guys want to know exactly why beef is expensive but ranchers are broke, click on this video right here and join me there.